done, so I have to kind of be quiet because everyone is sleeping in my house right now because it's like 1 in the morning. But I'm just gonna tell you guys about the standalone books I read over the summer. So by that I mean these aren't all the books I've read over the summer, and I did read some plays and stuff, but these are just the standalone books that I read. So yeah, here we go. The first book I read during the summer was The Hate List by Jennifer Brown. This book has such an interesting plot to me. It's about a girl and a boy who are dating, and they are kind of the outcasts and loners of the school. They don't like a lot of the kids there, and the kids are kind of mean to them, and so they write names down on this thing they call the hate list about people they hate. And one day the boy goes up and shoots, or attempts to shoot, during school hours, everyone on the list, and then he commits suicide. So this book, oh sorry about that, my hair. So this book is basically about her life after the shooting happens, because since he committed suicide, she has to deal with all the repercussions herself, and people are debating, like, was it her fault? Did she plan this with him? And she's almost kind of like wondering that herself, like she's not all the way sure, and she's like, do I still love him? Was it my fault? Could I have stopped it? And it's just it's suspenseful throughout the whole book, and it's so good. It's and there's so much character development and so many of the characters. It's just an amazing book. I really enjoyed it, and I had high expectations for this because it seemed like so interesting, and it had a pretty good review on Goodreads, and I was not disappointed at all. The only one thing, I give this book, I'm pretty sure, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, only because I didn't really like the ending of it. I mean, I felt like it was kind of abrupt, and I thought like this book could have such a powerful or like intense ending, and it didn't. So maybe that's my high expectations once again. And I was disappointed with that a bit, but other than that, I was so happy with it, and I was so impressed, and definitely would read more books by her if she put any out. So the second book I have here is Slide. It's actually a pretty short novel. It's only about 250 pages. It's a really quick read. I read this in like one sitting, like 3 hours maybe. And it's basically about a girl who has this disorder thing, and she can slip when she holds something that a person has touched. She faints and slips or slides into their point of view. So whatever they're doing at the time, when she faints, if she's holding an object that they touched, she'll see life through their eyes until she wakes up. It's again a very suspenseful book, very interesting. It keeps you guessing throughout the whole book, and it's a quick read but a satisfying read. It's something, just a quick little suspenseful young adult type novel, but I think it's a really good standalone for the summer. And although another ending that I wasn't too impressed with, the ending of this book is okay. I thought it got a little bit, she tried to put, I feel like, a lot of things into the ending and tried to make it like super complicated and like link everything together, but it was I don't know, it was still really good though. Like, the ending wasn't terrible or anything, but it could have been way better. But again, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I didn't have very high expectations of this book, but it definitely exceeded my expectations, and it was super good. Another book I read was Frozen Fire by Tim Bowler. I'm terrible at names. This book is about a girl who gets a phone call from it, and she doesn't know who it is, and they're like, the first words they say are "I'm dying," and it's about her trying to discover who was on the other line the whole book, and her brother's gone missing. He kind of ran away. Well, he did run away, and she thinks the guy on the phone, the unknown man on the phone that phoned her when she was home alone, has something to do or knows something about her brother's disappearance. So it's basically, the whole book is kind of like her struggling with her dad in their relationship because their mom left them, and her trying to find her brother, and her trying to find who is on the phone. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. It was pretty boring, honestly. It was captivating enough to keep me reading because I read the whole book, but I felt like literally half of this book was her walking through snow. Okay, so another book I read was called Life is But a Dream by Brian James. This is another pretty quick read. It's only, it's like 230 pages or something. It's about a girl who has schizophrenia, and her parents aren't really familiar with it, or not really comfortable with mental illness, so they send her away to a mental hospital, and she meets a boy, and she tells him about her dreams, and he agrees with her, and he's like, oh yeah, like totally, and she falls in love with him, and they fall in love with each other, and throughout the whole book it's her like, because he convinces her to stop taking her medication, so she slowly gets like worse and worse, and her mental health slowly descends, and it's written in her point of view, so it's quite creepily written at points because it's her sick mind, and I think the author did a really good job. I don't have a mental illness, so I don't know what the mind really thinks, but in my opinion, he did a wonderful job portraying it, and there were parts where it was like really creepy, like what she was thinking because she's sick. Like the ending, how I thought it was gonna end, because there's like a little part before the ending, and if you read, then you'll understand, where I was like, oh my god, it was like so intense, and then the ending, it was kind of just like a cliche, predictable ending, so that kind of disappointed me a little bit. Okay, so my other standalone book that I read during the summer was If I Lie by Corinne Jackson, and this is a book where the main character lives in a very military based, military thinking town, like almost like so many men from this town, it's like a very small population town, join the military, and her boyfriend of 2 years goes to the military, and he comes home one day to like spend time with his family, and pictures leak that she was kissing another man like the day before he left, and then so he leaves, and she has to deal with everyone. She loses all of her friends, she loses the respect from her father, and it's just her trying to pick up the pieces and trying to keep her boyfriend's secret, and trying to keep her secret from the pictures, and she doesn't get to explain her side of the story. And it's a really intense novel because you don't know exactly what's true and what's not, and you don't know the side of the story, you just know the story that other people believe isn't true. So in that way, it's pretty suspenseful, and it keeps you like on the edge of your seat. I really enjoyed this ending. I thought it was really sweet and wrapped it up nicely, and I think it was just a very promising ending. Once Was Lost by Sarah Zarr. I hope that's how you say her last name. I'm sorry if it's not. This book is about a girl who lives also in a small town, likes this guy, and from her church group, and his sister goes missing, and she thinks she can like solve it, and thinks she can do something about it, and it's just kind of about like her life after the girl goes missing. And even though she wasn't like friends with the girl necessarily, just how much it affected her life and how much she changed when she went missing. Her family is kind of like broken apart. Like her mom is in rehab for being an alcoholic, and her dad's a pastor, so he's never home. And it's just about like, it's also a story about them repairing their relationships and them coming closer as a family, and her knowing the importance of that after seeing this family of the missing girl almost fall apart. It's just a really good contemporary young adult novel. And the last book I have to show you, my last standalone read of the summer, is probably one of my favorites out of the list I just showed you, and that is When You Were Mine by Rebecca Surly. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I suck. This is a romance story, but it's so good. It's basically this girl's in love with a guy, and they've been best friends since forever, and she finally gets him to ask her on a date, and everything's going perfect, and then her cousin comes in town named Juliet, and she basically steals her boyfriend, and she's devastated because she thinks this is the guy she's gonna live with, she's gonna die with, that she's gonna get married. So it's about her kind of like recovering from that and realizing that maybe she was wrong, you know. I was expecting a really light, cheesy romance novel, but it wasn't. It had like some darker themes, almost like not like super, but it wasn't like super happy either, but it does have a really nice happy ending, which I really liked. So it's not like a depressing, sad book, but there are definitely a bit of depressing parts in this. But it still kind of has like everything. Like it's happy, and it has funny moments, and it has a really like snarky, sarcastic character who I love. And it's kind of like girl thinks she wants boy A, but she actually needs boy B. It's like the story of Romeo and Juliet, but where Romeo falls for the wrong girl. Awesome book. Plot twists, darker themes, darker moments, but also really funny, amazing characters I loved. So yeah, that was some standalone books I read during the summer. If I find any more, because I might have some more on my bookshelf, I'll just like quickly grab these. Maybe I'll do another video, and maybe I'll do a video on like the plays I read, and a separate video on the series I read or I started during the summer if you guys would like. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.